What are the top 5 abilities that every homesteader needs to develop if they don't already have? Hang around, we're going to dive into it. The top 5 abilities every homesteader needs. And if you don't have it, these can all be developed. These aren't skills. I'm not talking like using a chainsaw or swinging a hammer or driving a tractor. These are not skills I'm talking abilities. Personal, inside abilities that I believe that homesteaders need. Number 5, a homesteader needs to be flexible. That's right. Just like in the military. In the military, we came out and we said straight up that no plan survives first contact with the enemy. Now, very few plans on the homestead survive implementation. Ooh, starlings everywhere. Hundreds of them landing in my trees. We'll take it. It's a sign of spring in upstate New York. Okay, guys, quiet down. Okay. You may end up having to go in a totally different direction than what you were planning. Nothing is set in stone on a homestead. There are certain things on a homestead that have to be done right in order. But most of it, no, general timeline will do fine. That's one of the reasons why I chose the homesteading life, is so that I can plan my days the way I choose to plan my days. All right, number 4 of the top 5 abilities homesteaders need to develop. The ability to improvise. Listen, if you're a homesteader, and especially if you've had the privilege to go full-time homesteading, money is a precious commodity. Even if you're not full-time, money is always a precious commodity. We need money to live. When plans go bad, it still needs to work. Okay? Whether it's your solar array if you're off grid, your well pump, your water system. When things don't go as planned, it still needs to work. You still need water. You still need power. You don't need power, but it sure is nice to have. I'm in the 21st century. That's why our slogan is T-Han 141 Homestead off-grid in the 21st century. I don't live in the dark ages. I don't live in a cave. I want a flush toilet, and I want to be able to watch TV. The ability to improvise, to make things work, even if it's just for now until you can get to the store to get the bolts that really should work on that. Don't do anything dangerous. That wouldn't be good. Number 5, be flexible. Number 4, the ability to improvise. Make it work. Number 3, the ability to commit. Guys, this is not always an easy and fun lifestyle. It can be downright hard. You have to plan for all sorts of things. I know that on Tuesdays, I can't wait until 9 o'clock. On every other Tuesday, I can't wait until 9 or 10 o'clock to do the chickens and the chores, because I have to take Wendy to her chemo. And this is all of these things are awesome just for life. You need to be committed to your choices. I chose to go off grid. Well, to be committed to that choice, there are certain things I need to do in order to... My cat, I love my handsome boy. In order to be successful, there are certain things I need to do to commit to that off-grid lifestyle. I have animals. I am committed to their well-being. Their well-being is of the utmost importance to me. My animals' well-being trumps everything else. I got a leaky roof on the tool shed. I don't. But if I had a leaky roof on the tool shed, my animals, I will stop working on that to take care of my animals. Starlings, God bless them. And there's a difference between being invested and being committed. There's an old saying that in a ham and eggs breakfast, the chicken who gave the eggs was invested. The pig who gave the ham was committed. You gotta be committed to it. It's hard to say, I'm gonna pump water instead of just having it on demand at the tap. Or in some cases, I'm gonna carry water. It's hard. You know, after a while, it gets tiring. It's hard sometimes to say, you know what, I've got to weed the garden. Yes, I do the back to Eden garden method, but there are weeds there too. They're just easier to pull, and my experience is fewer of them so far. So you have to commit, not just invest, but commit. The rewards are phenomenal. I get peace when the starlings aren't going totally ballistic above me, but actually that actually gives me a great sense of peace. I am sitting here right now. I don't know if you can see it on that camera over there, but I am petting Handsome, my cat, and that gives me such... Most of the time I'm leaving that one in. And petting my cat gives me such peace. It really does. You need to develop the ability to be flexible, the ability to improvise, the ability to commit. And number 2, the ability to learn. Guys, if you think you know it all, go home. Go back on grid. If you cannot learn, and I'm not saying don't try, but maybe full-time homesteading isn't for you. We have got to constantly learn. I am not a smart man. Ask anybody. My brother, put it in the comments, Trevor. Put it in the comments. Tell them who they're dealing with. But I can learn. One of my biggest attributes when I was before I was medically retired was I could tell my employer, show me how to do it. Take 10 minutes to show me how to do it, and I'll be able to do it. I can learn how to do things. This lifestyle, homesteading, is a constant, day by day, minute by minute lesson in who, where, what, why, and how. Constant lesson. You're going to try things. You're going to fail. It's like, I believe it was Thomas Edison, when developing a light bulb, he said, yeah, I tried 700 times before I got the light bulb right. And somebody said, well, that's a big failure rate. He says, I didn't fail 700 times. He says, I just learned 700 different ways not to make a light bulb. That's what I'm talking about when learning, is don't get discouraged. Hey, if you do, I get frustrated I get frustrated sometimes, and if you get frustrated, as we all do, go ahead and take a break from it if you can, man. If it's not time sensitive, take a break. Walk away for a little while. Do something else. There's always something you can do, even if it's take a nap. There are so many problems every day that we need to be able to solve. And the wonderful thing is you get to solve it your way. This is your baby. You get to solve it your way, right, wrong, or indifferent. You're free to do that. And that freedom, oh, it's a glorious thing. Now, keeping that in mind, to be flexible, to improvise, to be committed, to be able to learn, you have to have the ability to realize your limitations. Know when to ask for help. Guys, I talk about my brother all the time. He is my largest asset, and I wish I had the money to pay him, because he's worth his weight in gold, which is considerable. But I jest. Know when to ask for help. My brother, man, there's so much stuff. When I have a tree, I can cut down a tree, okay? But when I have a tree that isn't leaning in the direction away from the woodshed and it's leaning towards the woodshed, I know that's not within my ability. Could I do it? Yeah, I might pull it off. I also might put a tree down on my woodshed. So I call my brother. When I am planning to do something, I run it by my brother. Because he has a mind that is still sharp as a tack, and he enjoys problem solving. I don't always enjoy problem solving, but he does. And not only will he say, hey, we're having a problem, but not, oh, this is how you fix the problem. But he goes into, this is why we had the problem. This is what we need to do to fix it. And this is how we can keep it from happening again. I don't think that way. I think, oh, we have a problem. Let's fix the problem and move on. But without my brother, you know, okay, that's just weird. And then there was a sound of silence. But my brother is invaluable to me because he can keep these things from reoccurring. He gets down to the nitty-gritty. If you can form that ability, the ability to be excessively frustrating in knowing the cause of problems. My cat. If you can develop that ability, do it. It is priceless. But know when to ask for help. Sometimes winging it can be dangerous. When you're dropping trees, not a good time to wing it. People can die or get seriously injured. Even professionals can die and get seriously injured. One of the men I look up to most in this world was a professional logger, had logged all his life. In fact, he retired but still dabbled because, you know, once you stop, you die. And he was cutting trees. You know, he was in the woods cutting trees, and the guy who ran, I believe, his loader or one of his skidders or something, came in and he saw him standing there, and he says, well, what in the world is he looking at? Well, a branch had come down out of a tree and killed him dead where he stood, and he was standing there. Now, great news is, if you knew Gil Martin, absent from the body was present with the Lord. This man loved the Lord, and and worked according to God's prayer, this man was saved. This man was immediately in the presence of God, and that is just an awesome thing. But even professionals get hurt installing a septic. I can install a septic, okay? But knowing what length run you need, what drop and what length run, so that your water doesn't flow right over solid material and eventually plug up your pipe, is important. Knowing how to analyze a perk test and say, okay, it's going to take this amount of stone to absorb the water because you have X amount of perk. Water absorption. When building, man, knowing the intricacies of building properly will save you a lot of time. And if you don't know these things, know when to ask for help. I didn't build this house, this cabin. My brother built it. And I helped him. And I am forever indebted to him. I don't know, guys. So, the top 5 abilities that every homesteader needs to develop if they don't already have them. Number 5, the ability to be flexible. Number 4, the ability to improvise. Number 3, the ability to commit. Number 2, the ability to learn. Number 1, the ability to know your limitations. If you got value out of today's video, it's free to subscribe. It's free to start. If you don't have a YouTube account, go ahead and start one. It's free. Subscribe and click that notification bell, and you will be notified every time I come out with new content. From T-Ham141 Homestead, keep going. Don't stop. God bless.